Other people I alluded to earlier in the other shows were Steve Blackman, the Lethal Weapon, who played a brilliant role throughout the Attitude Era. Al Snow, the leader of the Job Squad, would have been a good addition, along with Hardcore Holly, who was also in the Job Squad, which was one of the factions or groups during the Attitude Era. Big Vis, of course known as Viscera during the Attitude Era, was one of the Undertaker's ministry members. The Ministry of Darkness, of course, Viscera and Midian was a tag team during that period. They would have been a good addition as a tag team in the game. The reason they're not included, I would say they would have been easy to include because there wouldn't be big money contracts or anything because they weren't exactly major stars, but I don't know what the reason was they weren't included. I suppose it comes down to roster size and stuff as well, but would have been a good addition, Viscera and Midian. What about Ahmed Johnson, the bodybuilder from Mississippi? He would have been one of the big Attitude Era stars. He was in the WWF from November 97, or from July 95, I understand, up until mid 98. So that would have been a great addition to the Attitude Era. He was in the Attitude Era for a long time during that period in wrestling history. Also, the Headbangers would have been a long shot to be in the game. The Oddities, of course, Kurgan and the Giant Silva and Golga and Luna Vachon, and of course Jerry the King Lawler, who recently was hospitalized because of the heart attack he had during Monday Night Raw, but it would have done him good justice to be in this game as well, because he did make a few appearances in the ring during the Attitude Era. But can't have everyone, and I suppose that they would have been good additions to the game in my opinion. And it's a shame that Psycho Sid was not involved in the game. But other people, now with 7 days to go before WWE 13 hits the shelves in Ireland and the UK, it's going to be out in 4 or 5 days in the USA, and it's going to be out in 5 or 6 days in Australia. I have it pre-ordered. I've heard from a few other sources that when you pre-order the game on Amazon, it comes the day before, so I'm kind of hoping it comes on Thursday, but who knows, it will probably be 7 days, might even be Monday next week, which will kill me, but anyway, it will hopefully come on Thursday or Friday. That will be good. Also, I'm going to tell you about a few things that have been left out as well. I'm not nitpicking here, but this has to be said from the big fans. All wrestling fans are nitpickers when it comes to trying to get things perfect for the games. That's just the way we are. But no Nation of Domination as such. They've got Mark Henry with the Nation of Domination attire. They've got The Rock. I'm not sure, but I think he made a Nation of Domination attire. They've got The Godfather doesn't have any. He's got the Godfather attire. Farouk only has his Acolytes and APA attires, I understand. So he's not going to have his Nation of Domination attire. So it doesn't look like the Nation of Domination will have a big role in the Attitude Era mode. But the wrestlers will be in there, so we'll be able to create the attires, hopefully. But unfortunately, no Nation of Domination as such in the storyline. But they were a vital part of the Attitude Era. Of course, they were a throwback to the times of black supremacy and stuff, and trying to get with the whole civil rights movement, that storyline touched on that whole affair in the United States, which I thought would be very fitting to this particular game. Then, it's the other news, of course, is that there's no Hart Foundation as such. There's no Jim the Anvil Neidhart in the game, which I thought would be a great addition, considering the Hart Foundation had the big rivalry with D-Generation X in late 97. Mid to late 97. Of course, there was rivalry with Austin and Goldust and the LOD and Ken Shamrock and a few others as well. That would have been a great addition to have the Anvil and have Owen Hart. We know Owen Hart won't be in due to legal reasons. We know that there will be a few that won't be in due to legal reasons. Owen Hart will not be included. Chris Benoit will not be included. The WWE refused to recognize anything he ever achieved now because of what he supposedly done. Of course, back in 2007. Owen Hart's death back in 99. Of course, his wife does not want anything to do with the World of Wrestling and the WWE because of that whole situation. Martha Hart is supposed to have serious. She's taken them to court and everything about that, and she won't allow his name or his likeness to be used in any of the games or anything like that. That's a pity. There you go. Bret Hart and the rest of the family would like that, but she does not want it. There you go. Also, the other stuff, there's a good few ones that won't be in it legally. Hulk Hogan will not be in the game because of the fact that he's in TNA. He runs TNA, but he could be in the game because of the fact that he has a Legends contract in WWE, and as part of the clause in his contract with TNA says that he can work outside TNA in other products for any other company. So, but he is not, of course. He wasn't a part of the Attitude Era, so he would not be included. Kurt Angle, Eric Bischoff, Ric Flair, and a few others will not be included in the game because of their contracts with TNA. Of course, TNA, the rival brand, the rival company, owned by Dixie Carter, of course. I can tell you that the DLC that has been picked out, I never went through the names of them in my last show, but I will tell you now a few of the ones I can remember. Goldust, DDP, them two will be, Diamond Dallas Page and Goldust will be fan access incentives for the game. Remember, Mike Tyson was a pre-order incentive. And now we go for the normal DLC. We're going to see Ryback in the game. We're going to see Lord Tensai. We're going to see Brian Pillman, Flying Brian Pillman. He was known in WCW, but in WWE he was known as the Loose Cannon Brian Pillman. Also will be Cactus Jack. Well, he's in the game anyway. Chainsaw Charlie, of course, the alter ego of Terry Funk. He will be in the game. Also in the game as DLC, you'll have Val Venus, a big part of the Attitude Era. You'll have the Godfather, who is massive in the Attitude Era. You'll have so many other big names making their way on the scene. Gangrel, of course, the vampire gimmick from the Attitude Era, one of the Brood, and the Brood will feature because there is alternate attires for Edge and Christian, and they are, of course, the vampires of, and they were also a part of the Ministry of Darkness for a while with The Undertaker and all the others, the Acolytes and Mideon and Viscera in the 1999 storyline, which was excellent. Very good TV, must-see TV, as they say, when they were going up against Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Corporation, and all them. Very good TV that was at the time.